How much better is the new Slayer Master than before? GameCube Jonah, the mathematical secret of the imbued heart. Let's watch this one.
Heart is one of the most notorious grinds for any old school RuneScape player, with many people reaching 99 Slayer and grinding for months without ever seeing it drop. But on the 29th of July 2026, Jagex released a new Slayer Master, Mortimer. And with this release, Jagex may have fundamentally shifted this grind. But so the question is
Hopefully.
Mortimer now the best way to train Slayer if you want to get the imbued heart? Is Mortimer better than the previous meta of Turel skipping until Duradaddy gives you an Erexite or a Smoke Devil task? We'll get into all these questions and more. But first, how does Mortimer make this grind so much better? What is so special about him? Well, let's have a look. Mortimer is a very unique
We'll check the comment section after the video. Let's watch the video first.
Slayer Master in its mechanics, most of which have a nice positive effect on our imbued heart grind. First off, Mortimer only assigns Slayer monsters that have a superior variant, which are the only monsters who actually have a chance of dropping the imbued heart. So as long as you've unlocked the ability to get superiors from a Slayer task, you'll have a chance to get an imbued heart on every single Mortimer task. Second, Mortimer doesn't offer Slayer points in the traditional sense, and he only has 2 block slots. And this is because instead of flat out giving you a task like every other Slayer Master, Mortimer gives you the option to choose between 2 tasks.
What's the meta right now? What two tasks are people blocking the most? Has that meta come out yet? Because I know we were kind of talking about it in the theory crafting and everything. But have you guys found out like what statistically is the 2 best things to block? Venators, anything you can't multi, so warped creatures and drakes. You can even block Hydra there too. Personal choice. Okay, so there's so many choices for blocks that it doesn't really matter because I see what's going on. So you just kind of block 2 that you don't really like farming. It's personal preference.
Or free tasks if you've done enough tasks with him. This allows you to always pick the task that allows you to have the best chance at getting an imbued heart. But the biggest factor that impacts the imbued heart grind is that Mortimer offers modifiers on each task. This means that for each task he offers you, he also offers you a special effect on that particular task. That effect might be getting 15% more Slayer XP from kills from that task.
This is a great idea for a Slayer Master.
Having an increased chance at clue scrolls. Or, crucially, having a 200% extra chance of hitting the superior unique drop table, which is the drop table that hosts the imbued heart. Now, you do not get all of these modifiers immediately.
By the way, we said that this was 300% at if you were to spawn a superior. It's not 300% chance to spawn a superior. It's 300% chance if you spawn a superior for the heart to drop. So if the heart is like 1 in 1,000 chance from that mob, it's now 1 in like 300 chance. So it's a little bit different.
Immediately, you have to unlock them as you go. Now, when you get started with Mortimer, he only offers 2 tasks and 2 modifiers. You then unlock new modifiers the more tasks you complete with him.
Right.
Crucially, you unlock the modifier for the superior drop table at 25 tasks completed, and at 50 tasks completed, you unlock the third choice option. Now, to illustrate how powerful the option to pick your task is, the old meta of grinding an imbued heart is to get a Duradel Slayer task. And if it's not an Erexite or a Smoke Devil task, going to Turiel, resetting your task by doing a quick one from Turiel, and retrying with Duradel. With the ideal block list, your odds of getting a Smoke Devil or Erexite Slayer task is 11.18% at 99 Slayer.
Dang.
For Mortimer, this is 12.34% when he offers you 2 tasks, or 18.27% when he offers you 3 tasks. That is more than a 50% increase to get one of these creatures for a single task compared to Duradel. And that's not even considering the 20.53% chance that this Mortimer task might have that modifier that increases the odds of you getting an imbued heart on that task. But Mortimer has one significant drawback compared to the old meta. Mortimer tasks cannot be skipped through doing a Turel task. So the choice you make is the task you're going to have to do. Or you have to spend 120 Slayer points to skip the task, which is a very steep price. So for the purpose of our calculations, we'll assume we do not skip any Mortimer task. But so which option is better? We'll analyze four.
But I mean, even though it costs more, it's still like a mental thought that whatever task you're doing, you still have a chance of getting a heart. Like you're not doing a task that doesn't even drop it. So it's not, I think it's better, like mentally, you still think that you're going to get, you have a chance. And that's what's important. That's why I like this particular Slayer Master.
4 different scenarios. First, we'll assume you are already 99 Slayer. Are you then better doing off the old Duradel meta or grinding out Mortimer for 50 tasks and then staying with him until you get your heart? Then we'll have a look at your Slayer leveling.
He's gonna break down which one is worth
level 70 Slayer. Is Mortimer now your Slayer Master of choice if you want to get a heart on the way to 99? But first, let's have a look at the actual math behind getting an Imbued heart. The reason this grind is so notorious is that a series of things need to happen for you to get this item. First, you need...
Chat, does something happen at 99 Slayer using Duradel? Why is he saying that? Why is he saying 99 Slayer was the old meta and then using Duradel to plus Turiel? Like what's the significance of being 99 Slayer? There's a Slayer perk. Are you saying that the Slayer cape gives you some kind of perk? Is that what's happening here? The possibility of task repeats, meaning if you just had an Araxite task, you could still get another Araxite task for a back-to-back. Okay, cool. I didn't know that. Okay, thank you.
But first, let's have a look at the actual math behind getting an Imbued heart. The reason this grind is so notorious is that a series of things need to happen for you to get this item. First, you need to get a Slayer task, which is a mob with a superior variant. Then, for every mob you kill, you have a flat 1 in 200 chance that a superior monster appears. Now, this changes to 1 in 150 if you have the elite combat achievements done, which is what we'll assume throughout the video. Then, when you kill the superior, you have a chance to hit the superior drop table. And the odds of you hitting that table depends on the Slayer level required to kill that monster. It follows this formula, where L is the required Slayer level. Yeah, that's what I was thinking right there. For example, a crawling hand has a Slayer requirement of level 5, so the odds of you rolling the superior drop table is 1 in 171. Whereas the Smoke Devil, with a Slayer requirement of 93, has a chance of 1 in 24.8 to hit the drop table per kill.
I got the same number.
This formula scales directly with the new Mortimer modifier. So if you, for example, get a Mortimer task with a 25% superior unique modifier, you just multiply all of this by 1.25 to get 1 in 19.8. But even that is not enough to get the Imbued heart. When you hit the drop table, you then have to hit a separate 1 in 8 to actually get the heart. So you have to hit 3 consecutive rolls on any kill to get the heart. That means you have a 0.000365% chance per crawling hand kill that you do on task to get the Imbued heart. And this is where you start to understand why this grind is so notorious. Now, having done all that math, let's get into the results. We'll have a look at the players with a Slayer cape first. Your interaction with Slayer is purely to get this Imbued heart. You do not care about anything else. Right. And as I mentioned, the previous meta was to get a Duradel task, and if it's an Araxite or Smoke Devil task, you complete it, and otherwise you go to Turel, perform a quick 120-second Slayer task, and return to Duradel for another chance at the Devil or the Spider. Now, you might have heard numbers thrown around about this meta before, but let's have a look for what the grind actually looks like. And for clarity, all numbers shown here assume you have...
Yeah, man, guys, we know that this particular guy is just for getting a heart, but it needs to be better than the old method. So he's about to tell us if it's better, how much better. and the right strategy, maybe even the block list to be using here, statistically, mathematically, pragmatically right now.
Completed the elite combat achievements. Now, these numbers rely on assumptions based
Obviously,
on efficient gameplay.
CAs.
These are efficient kills per hour for each mob, using NPC contact and completing a Turrell task in 120 seconds. When using these assumptions, you see a number that might be familiar. The average duration of the Imbued hard grind in this old meta with elite combat achievements is about 70 hours. But if you're in the unlucky 10%, it will take you over 160 hours. And if you're even unluckier in the 1%, it will take you double the time, over 320 hours. And to translate these hours into number of tasks, on average,
that's like Palomar at the Maggot King right there. 400 hours.
You would have to complete 1,300 tasks for an Imbued heart in the old meta, or 6,000 tasks if you're in the unlucky 1%. But how does this look for Mortimer? Well, first, we need a system that's going to help us decide which task we are going to pick. The Duradel meta is simple. Mortimer is more complicated. So we're going to give each option given to us by Mortimer a score Q, where Q represents the expected amount of hours still left in the Imbued hard grind when we pick that task. Now, this score consists of two components. The first part is simple. How long is this task gonna take that he offers us? This includes the setup time and the travel time, and then the efficient kills per hour for that specific Slayer task. We then have the chance 1 minus H. And here H represents the probability of getting an Imbued heart during the task. So that means that 1 minus H represents the probability of us not getting a heart on that task. That is then multiplied by the expected time to heart, which we have currently set at 82 hours. What this scoring does is it rewards tasks all of this in my head when they have a high heart chance or are very fast to complete. Rest assured here, and also automatically considers the effects of using a slaughter and expeditious bracelet. And with this algorithm, this is what the picked task distribution looks like. You see that Smoke Devils and Araxites dominate due to their high Imbued heart chance, even when they do not have a modifier. This is then followed by a bunch of super fast tasks done with expeditious bracelets, because sometimes it is better to do a fast task with
the dream is to get a crawling hand while you're tutorial skipping for like Hydra or Araxites or something. That's the dream, is to just get the Imbued heart while you're killing a level 8 crawling hand or a Banshee.
Heart chance, then a long task with a medium heart chance. So you can get back to those high chance heart tasks sooner. And a funny thing to see is that depending on the modifier and other options provided, some tasks don't exclusively use expeditious or slaughter bracelets. Some use both, like abyssal demons, dust devils, and dark beasts. You can imagine that if the superior modifier is high enough, suddenly you will want to squeeze every kill out of that abyssal demon task. So here's the graph for the old Duradel meta again. Now let's show the Mortimer graph as well. What we see is that Mortimer is slower than the old meta initially, and this is of course due to you not having unlocked all the Mortimer modifiers yet, but this compensates fairly quickly. On average, you'll have all 50 tasks completed to unlock all the modifiers after about 8 hours when playing very efficiently, resulting in the method becoming better than the old meta at around the 15-hour grind mark. So unless you are betting to be in the lucky 14.6%, grinding out these slow 50 tasks to unlock all the modifiers from Mortimer is going to be worth it in the long haul. You see that on average, the Mortimer grind with the elite combat achievements completed is about 63 hours, which is 7 hours faster than the old meta. But if you're unlucky, this time save becomes even bigger. The unlucky 1% for Mortimer will take 282 hours, which is 43 hours faster than the same level of luck at the old meta. Now, let's say you've just unlocked Mortimer at level 70 Slayer. Is he the...
Guys, I mean, after looking at that graph, I mean, is this guy really that great? It's worse for the first 15 hours until you unlock the third task. And then even then it's going to save you like a few hours. I thought it was better than this.
The better option to get to 99 Slayer than Duradel? Well, let's compare the hard chances on the way to 99 and the average efficient XP per hour. First off, we start by altering our Mortimer scoring function a little bit to compensate for the fact that high XP tasks are beneficial at lower levels, because this allows us to get to higher imbued hard chance tasks sooner. We then run the simulations as normal and we see the following results. One very important caveat here is that this Duradel approach assumes you are not spending any points on skips. So in reality, your time to the heart will be faster than stated here, although Mortimer is still clearly better in that regard.
If you don't have any points, Mortimer has to be better because you're not spending any points on skips. And then every task you're doing is an actual chance of getting something. You don't have to go spend time tutorial skipping. So maybe it is better. Maybe it's not as tough on the grind mentally. Plus, like I was saying earlier, you always think you have a chance of getting it because every task that you do is a chance of getting it. So everything you're killing is a 50-50 chance in your mind and there's no time where it's a 0. You know what I mean?
Reach 99 Slayer for each grind. You see here that the average time to get a heart starting from level 70 is about 80 for Mortimer and 207 for Duradel. That is almost 3 times as long. Now, as I've stated, you can reduce this gap by using your points to skip tasks, but that won't fully eliminate the 137-hour gap. When slaying with Mortimer, about 3 in 4 players will get a heart by level 99, whereas with Duradel using this method, that is half of the players. But what about the XP per hour? Well, we know that if slaying efficiently for XP, Duradel can give anywhere between 75 and 120k XP per hour. In this case, if we're going for the hard optimized block list and we're not skipping any tasks, the XP per hour lies closer to 55k. Whereas Mortimer reaches an effective 76k Slayer XP per hour with our hard hunting method. This is around the bottom end of efficient Duradel Slayer XP, but it's a really good hard chance to compensate for that lower end of the XP band. And an added bonus for Iron Man is that Mortimer also assigns Hydras at level 95 without the need for going to Konar. So no, it is not the best XP, but it is very decent and definitely worth your while if you were planning on grinding for an imbued heart anyway. When we compare tasks,
you wouldn't do this on your iron to try. I mean, you would still go to Duradel until you greenlog synapse or finish your synapses and your Zenites. But then after that, you could go and just start grinding the heart for XP if you wanted to.
Not hours, the numbers get a little closer. So starting with Mortimer around level 70 takes about 580 tasks on average to get a heart, or 757 with Duradel. But some of Duradel's tasks are notably slower, hampering the time that could be spent on heart efficient tasks. So yes, Mortimer is the superior option unless you're purely going for XP per hour. In almost every other scenario, I would suggest you use Mortimer for your imbued hard grind or general account progression as an Iron Man. On the screen now are the summary results in hours and tasks for all the methods we discussed today. Feel free to pause and have a look. You'll also be able to see the difference between not unlocking.
I mean, first off, we're only looking at elite. There's no way we're ever looking at standard. Everyone has elite done if they're on the hard grind. At 9, and we're comparing 99. The number of hours that it takes. So on the average, it's 63 hours versus 70 hours on the average if you have elites done from Mortimer. So it's saving you, the average person, 7 hours.
And unlocking the elite combat achievements. So, will you be using Mortimer for your Slayer grind? Let me know why or why not in the comments. And if you like this video, please allow me to dream for a second with you and consider nominating me for the best new old school RuneScape creator for the Golden Gnome nominations, which are open now. It has been a heck of a year, and I would be honored to be even nominated for this award. You can nominate until the
over,
3rd of
guys.
August. So if you're seeing this video on the first couple of days it comes out,
Damn.
make sure to do it soon. If the nominations have already closed or you don't feel like going through all the trouble for nominating, you can compensate by subscribing to the channel and liking the video. I hope
Good
to see
video.
you at RuneFest. Thank you
I will
very
see
much
you at
for
RuneFest,
watching.
Jonna.
I will see you next time.
I'll see you there, buddy. I'll see you there. Mono Madness Golden Gnome. Dude, that's actually a sick name for Mad Season. Mono Madness. Dude, he should rebrand. Dude, he should that is a sick name. I think he should rebrand to Mono Madness. Is that his character's name? Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah, because he's so monotoned. He never changes up his vibe. He always keeps it low key, just like that. He never switches it up. I like the monotone vibe of Mad Season. You can always tell a Mad Season video. It's the second you hear his voice. It's iconic at this point. Yo, good video by GameCube Jonah there. I was kind of wondering how good the new Slayer Master was. So it looks like it's about 10% better on an average. But if you go really dry, it's like 100 plus hours better than the other option. So that's cool. That's cool to know. And honestly, Sardaco got a he got a freaking heart on the first day on the new Slayer Master. So that's kind of crazy.